On the color wheel, red is actually opposite of green on the color wheel. So I can darken my green with a little bit of red. But because I am painting an eye, and we're talking about a specific pigment of the eye, I don't know that I can just go with my normal thing of mixing two complementary colors, from the color wheel. I actually feel like this is almost like a dark blue green, so I'm going to throw some blue in there. Alright, so what I would do is just come right along this edge. And even underneath the eyelid right here, a little bit of that color. And then a little bit more on this side. Love that highlight you did. And I realize that this is not the eye picture that you were, or the reference you were working from, but this so closely matched what you were doing. I just thought this would be a good way to show you, what I do when I'm painting. And then what I want to do is soften that, so I'm going to clean my brush, dry wipe it, and then dip back into some clean water, wipe a little of the excess off, and then come right along here along this edge where I just laid that color down, and take my water and soften it. Where the dark green that I just put down meets the lighter areas that you had done. And man, this paint dries fast. Alright, so let me wet my brush, get a little more on here. And just kind of do it as I go. And I'm trying to do my brush strokes, what I call the wagon wheel. Just like what you did, is that, when you're doing painting the iris of the eye, you're kind of doing like a, wagon wheel where your strokes are going in. That's what I'm doing now, is I'm trying to blend this color I just put down to soften it, instead of just going side to side like this. After I put that initial color down, is soften it by going the direction that you see all of the different color variations on the iris of the eye. Trying to follow the eye pattern, I guess, is what I'm saying. I hope this is making sense. There we go. You can see what a difference that made. And, at this point, it's just learning to see more details. How much more do you want, there to be on the eye? Like there's a little bit of a glisten right there. So why don't we take some white, maybe just a little teeny bit of red, not much, and maybe put a little highlight right there. Let's see, where else can we highlight? Looks like there's a little bit of one right there. And generally, right in front of the eye, it's going to be a little bit lighter right there. And take some of that flesh tone. Use some light flesh tone right there. And even on the white of the eye, you can see when you get, and because this is such a close-up, I can demonstrate this, but a lot of times when I'm doing portraits, I'm working with something that the eye is only like this big, and I'd almost need a magnifying glass to do all this. But I just want to show you just, these few things that shows you the little nuances that are within the eye, that it's all not just like one color right here. And I think what I'll do is put a little bit more, maybe right in here. And there's not really a whole lot more to do unless you just, like want to enhance some of your highlights a little bit more. So if I take some yellow, just a teensy bit of green, some white, and maybe just come back one more time with That's a little bit too light. I want to go with more of a yellow. Okay, maybe a little bit of yellow and some green. A little bit lighter. And normally what I will find is, you know, the lower part of the eye, that's the part of the iris, that's the part that catches the most light. And generally in all of my paintings, I will have a lighter area right down in through here, and then I'll let it fade and blend into that upper area. Like I won't do any more of that lightening all the way around. I just like to keep it light, like right here towards the bottom, where the light's hitting it. And right there where I just messed up. This is what I was talking about. I can scratch it if I get it right away when I'm working with watercolor. Working with oil paints, yeah, I can just keep on going and then come back and scratch it out. But with watercolor, you pretty much got to get to it right away. And again, all I'm doing is just scratch and paint off where I, you know, to get a blend on it. But anyway, that's the difference there. It's just, it's all, painting is all about lights and darks, getting a good value scale in your painting. In other words, you got your darkest darks, going into your lightest lights. That's your value scale. You want to have a wide range of values. A lot of times, especially when I first started painting, my values would be like right in here, and I never got the really dark darks or the super light lights. And that's the trick to painting, is always look for light and dark patterns. But I love talking about art, so I've already done this, so I'm going to say I love you very much. I hope this helps, and we'll do this again.